This is an Okie Doke production.
Warning. The Mighty Philbert is a wicked, deplorable man who is a horrible influence on children and most household pets. He curses like a sailor, smokes like a chimney, and has impure thoughts about anime characters. If you choose to continue watching or listening to this program, just remember, I warned you.
Well, we're doing this, folks. We're really doing it. Because somewhere out there on the internet, there is a grown adult with access to a webcam and half-baked theology degree who's decided that Labubu dolls are demonic portals to hell. So buckle up, because today we're going to dismantle the logic of yet another fear-peddling content creator who thinks the devil has time to possess collectible vinyl figurines. And spoiler alert, folks, he doesn't. If Satan's top strategy for world domination is to infiltrate your kid's toy shelf, I think it's safe to say he's mailing it in.
If you want to turn the channel, go ahead, fool, turn the channel. If you want to learn something about God, shut your mouth and listen to me for a minute.
It's not fake, it's faith. We've seen midgets grow. We've seen arms and legs that stop growing because of growth cells that stop. Manda basata. I don't make this stuff up.
The word of God is his spur. The job of the preacher is to bring fresh spur.
You say.
Let's call it evil. Where does evil come from?
Religion.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Mighty Philbert. I'm Philbert, and I'd rather be a hammer than a nail. Yes, I would. If I only could, I surely would. Paul Simon. So today I'm taking my one divine hammer and bringing it down full force on yet another YouTube conspiracy. Let me just ask, why does it seem like everything fun or cute or that inspires children to use their imagination suddenly ends up on the Christian's most evil list? Cartoons, video games, board games, music, movies, even your cleaning supplies have been targets of the church's rage. Hell, even Barney and the Backyard Gang wasn't immune. Why? Because Barney encouraged kids to use their imagination. How sinful! And now they're at it again over the latest fad your kids are going nuts over. Labubu dolls.
What are Labubu dolls? Are they demonic, or are people making a big deal out of nothing?
That's a great question, and the answer is B. People are making a big deal out of nothing. You'd think that would be the end of the video, but no. Instead, we get a parade of paranoia that makes the Salem witch trials look like a TED Talk. According to our holy hobbyist here, Labubu dolls are apparently causing people to feel anxiety and paranormal experiences like the sensation of being watched. Which, if you've ever owned a doll with eyes, it's just how they work.
They say that the dolls follow them with their eyes when they're walking around.
Yeah, that's called perspective, sweetheart. It's not demonic, it's geometry. Next up, we're going to dive into the creator of Labubu, Hong Kong-based artist Casing Lung. The video reluctantly admits
Casing Lung has said Labubu was inspired by European fairy tales, particularly darker, whimsical stories like Where the Wild Things Are and Nordic folklore.
Which somehow gets translated into that means it's demonic because fairy tales equal deception equals witchcraft equals the enemy. Look, just because something has vibes doesn't mean it has demons. Nordic folklore is full of trolls, elves, and forest creatures, not because Satan dictated it to the Vikings in a seance, but because people told stories to explain the natural world. And Where the Wild Things Are? Really? That's a children's book about emotions and imagination. It's not the Necronomicon. I loved that book when I was a kid, and I turned out great. Okay, so moving on.
Creator has made this doll with deception in mind, and anywhere there's deception, there's the enemy. There's witchcraft.
Ah yes, classic Christian logic. Anything mischievous equals satanic. By that metric, Bugs Bunny is a demon, Loki is a demon, your toddler definitely possessed. This obsession with labeling every non-smiling, wide-eyed character as spiritually compromised is exhausting. Just because a toy is weird doesn't mean it's wicked. The video goes on to tie Labubu to Santeria, idolatry, and even Lilith-adjacent mischief spirits, because clearly one mildly spooky art toy is a gateway drug to full-blown demonic oppression.
You know that you don't have any demonic activity going on now, but you bring in this doll, and all of a sudden you're getting anxiety. All of a sudden your kids are acting rebellious, they're acting out, they're becoming addicted to these dolls. If you see these kind of things happening, then you can guarantee there is witchcraft influence behind the doll, and you need to get rid of it ASAP.
What? No, Karen, your kids are acting rebellious because they're kids. They're not under spiritual assault. They're just overstimulated, underfed, and probably tired of being told that Bluey is a Luciferian mind control psyop. Let's zoom out for a minute, okay? This isn't just a bad video. It's the same script we've been hearing since the 1970s. Remember when Dungeons and Dragons was a portal to the occult? When He-Man and the Masters of the Universe were considered satanic because the phrase, "I have the power," or when Teletubbies were suspected of pushing a gay agenda because one of them had a purse and a triangle on his head. Let me give you a greatest hits of past demonic threats.
If you don't know what Smurfs are, they're not that cute little cuddly thing. They are satanic.
There are some things about Smurfs that we need to look at. First of all, you'll notice that they're depicted as blue with black lips.
That's right, there were claims that because of their blue skin, they were actually zombies, and it represented death or the demonic.
Well, isn't that interesting? And you know what happens to you when you die? You turn blue and your lips turn black.
Pagan or occultic community. And the other community is, of course, the homosexual community.
No, what you're telling me then is that even Smurfs carry a homosexual connotation.
Interestingly enough, they go hand in hand.
Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, the Monster Manual, and it's full of monstrous figures.
The media bombards kids today with messages, many with satanic overtones.
He-Man has more power than Jesus.
Skeletor, the master of the universe.
The fun and games level, referred to as the dabblers. A half-belief in Satanism or some serious interest, such as a sudden, bitterly antagonistic attitude.
Satan's not stupid. He understands that kids today are visual, and so he's making a play for excitement, for total involvement of the senses.
Drastic decline in academic performance, a reclusive behavior pattern, and listening exclusively to heavy metal rock music.
One critic of the game also feels that Dungeons & Dragons promotes Satanism.
There's a book called None Dare Call It Witchcraft, who said it's the most cleverly packaged presentation to the occult ever made.
When one or more of these warning signs are evident, you should look further for ritual items such as a pentagram or other satanic symbols.
It's not something I want in our school system, and I do not want it in my home.
A decorative dagger or knife. A personal diary with a black cover, which is called a Book of Shadows, a small, makeshift altar.
A game. Are you going to become a Satan worshiper by playing this game?
No. No more than I am from listening to rock and roll.
Folks, the Labubu doll is just the latest scapegoat in a long tradition of baseless hysteria. Let's say it out loud. This stuff isn't just silly, it's dangerous. When you start seeing demons in toys, cartoons, or forest creatures with big teeth, you're not protecting your children. You're programming them to fear their own imagination. You're teaching kids that anxiety is the result of evil spirits, not emotions or trauma. You're making the world small, binary, and terrifying. And worst of all, you're handing your critical thinking over to TikTok prophets with no qualifications beyond a shaky camera and a loud opinion. Let me tell you the story of Anneliese Michel, because this is where this type of thinking leads. She was a devout German Catholic girl in the 1970s who suffered from epilepsy, depression, and hallucinations. But instead of getting proper medical care, her devout Catholic parents brought in priests who diagnosed her with demonic possession. For over 10 months, she endured 67 exorcisms. She was beaten, starved, and dehydrated, all in the name of religious purity. She died in 1976, weighing just 68 pounds. And her story became fuel for the exorcism of Emily Rose, which people treated like horror entertainment. But it was a real girl, a real death, caused by the very same ideology that says a toy can possess your children. By the way, if you'd like to know more about her story, my wife and I did a complete episode on her in season 2 of my old podcast, and it's still available on YouTube on our current channel, Carpe Noctem. I'll include a link in the description if you'd like to check it out. But brace yourselves, folks. It's very disturbing and very graphic. Look, folks, you want to protect your kids? Great. But start with their mental health, their curiosity, their ability to think critically. Stop handing them a worldview where everything strange is evil and everything outside your church is suspect. Labubu is just a doll. It's art. And art should challenge, confuse, delight, even weird us out sometimes. What we don't need is another panic. Another round of burning toys in the backyard because someone on TikTok thinks plastic teeth are proof of possession. Let me leave you with this. If you believe the devil is using collectible vinyl toys to destroy your family, you don't need deliverance. You need Wi-Fi restrictions and a nap, honey, okay? But hey, that's just me. And that's going to do it for the show today. Remember, folks, you don't have to be religious to do the right thing. You just have to stop setting your kid's Happy Meal on fire because the toy has teeth. Thanks for listening, and until next time, take care of yourself, take care of each other, and stay mighty, everybody.
This is an Okie Doke production.